My wife stood in our bathroom, the one with family photos on every wall, and called the ring I bought with my first teaching paycheck a cheap embarrassment. 24 years of marriage. And I'm watching it end over a piece of gold that weighs less than a nickel. She's holding it between two fingers, like it's garbage, like it's something she found stuck to her shoe. Do you know what I do at pharmaceutical dinners, Daniel? When doctors' wives are wearing Cartier and Tiffany? I hide my hand. I literally tuck it under the table so no one asks about my ring. Her voice has this edge, sharp, cold. I've heard her use it on telemarketers, never on me. Jessica, 24 years wearing this cheap embarrassment. This craft fair trinket. The bathroom light catches the diamond. Quarter carat. That's all I could afford at 21. Fresh out of college. First teaching job. I'd saved for 6 months. $300 a month out of my $1,800 paycheck. I remember the jeweler, small shop downtown. He'd reset my grandmother's diamond into the gold band. Told me it was beautiful. Told me what mattered was the love, not the size. I believed him. Jessica, please. That ring, she drops it. Just opens her fingers and lets it fall. I hear it hit the porcelain, that tiny clink. Metal on ceramic. Then her hand moves to the flush handle. No. The rush of water drowns out my voice. I watch it spiral, the gold band catching light as it spins. 24 years of marriage circling the drain. Then it's gone. I stand there, frozen in the doorway. My hand is still reaching forward like I could somehow stop what already happened. Jessica steps past me. Her Louboutin heels click on the tile, sharp, precise. Each step costs more than that ring did. I have a pharmaceutical dinner tonight with actual professionals. I'll wear the pearl bracelet. The bathroom door closes. I hear her in the bedroom. Drawers opening, the rustle of clothes. I look at the toilet, at the water settling back to calm. That ring, my first teaching paycheck. 6 months of saving. I bought it the week before I proposed. Took it to the park where we'd carved our initials into that oak tree. Got down on one knee in the dirt. She said yes. She said it was perfect. She said she loved me. I move to the toilet, kneel down. The tile is cold through my khakis. I reach for the base where the water line connects. My hands are shaking. Maybe I can get it back. Call a plumber. Disassemble the trap. Salvage something from this. Jessica's voice comes from the bedroom. Are you seriously going to fish in the toilet? God, Daniel, let it go. It's trash. It's always been trash. I hear her heels again, moving down the hallway, down the stairs. The front door opens, closes. Her Lexus starts in the driveway. I'm alone in a bathroom with family photos on every wall, smiling versions of us that don't exist anymore. I sit back on my heels. In my pants pocket, my phone vibrates. A text from Maria Santos, my teaching colleague. Tomorrow's faculty meeting at 7:30 a.m. Don't forget you're presenting on the senior play. The Crucible. Arthur Miller. A play about lies destroying a community. About people choosing truth over comfort. I've been directing it for 3 months. I didn't see the irony until right now. My phone buzzes again. This time it's Natalie, my daughter. Dad, can we meet for lunch tomorrow? Need to talk about wedding stuff. Wedding stuff. My 24-year-old daughter is getting married in 9 weeks, June 15th, to Brandon Prescott. Nice kid, rich family, Prescott Development. They own half of Riverside. Jessica planned the whole thing. Prescott Estate Vineyard. 180 guests. $32,000. I've been paying for it by teaching summer school for the past 2 years. I text back, of course, sweetheart. Miguel's at noon? She sends a thumbs up and a bride emoji. I pocket my phone. Stand up. My knees crack. 45 years old and already falling apart in bathrooms. In the mirror, I look the same as I did this morning. Brown hair going gray at the temples. Lines around my eyes from 22 years of smiling at students. Wire-rimmed glasses. Collar from my button-down slightly wrinkled because I forgot to iron it. I look like a high school English teacher, which is exactly what I am, and exactly what Jessica can't stand about me anymore. I leave the bathroom, walk to our bedroom. Her perfume hangs in the air. Chanel, $150 a bottle. I bought it for her last Christmas because she kept showing me pictures of it. On her nightstand, there's a stack of magazines. Architectural Digest, Town and Country, luxury travel catalogs. On my nightstand, there's a worn copy of Romeo and Juliet, the one I teach from every year, margins full of notes, cover held together with tape. I teach Romeo and Juliet every year. Young love, family betrayal, tragic choices. I never saw I was living the wrong role. I grab my car keys. I need to get out of here. Need to grade papers. Need to do something that feels normal, but I stop at the bedroom door. On Jessica's dresser, there's a small white box. CVS pharmacy logo on the side. I don't remember her mentioning going to the pharmacy. I walk over, open the box. Inside is a positive pregnancy test. 2 pink lines, clear as day. The receipt is still in the box, crumpled, like someone tried to throw it away, then changed their mind. I smooth it out. CVS Pharmacy, 847 Riverside Drive. That's not our CVS. We live on Maple Street. Our pharmacy is on 5th. 847 Riverside Drive. That's near downtown, by the new high-rises, by Brandon's office. The timestamp says 6:47 a.m., March 18th, 3 days ago. Jessica told me she was at an overnight pharmaceutical training conference that weekend. Said she'd be home Sunday afternoon. I hold the receipt. The thermal paper is smooth between my fingers. Slick. The address is right there in tiny printed letters. The test shows 5 to 6 weeks pregnant. I do the math, work backwards. 5 weeks ago was mid-February, that conference weekend. The one where she said she had to stay overnight. My phone vibrates. Another text from Jessica. Dinner running late, don't wait up. I look at the pregnancy test, at the receipt from the wrong CVS, at the timestamp that says she bought it at 6:47 in the morning on a street across town. The receipt was from a CVS I'd never been to, on Brandon Street. At 6:47 in the morning, I teach 4th period AP English. 32 seniors. Most of them are good kids, smart, heading to college. A few are heading to trade schools. One's joining the Marines. Today I'm supposed to teach Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, the part where everything falls apart, where Mercutio dies, where Romeo kills Tybalt, where family loyalty and truth collide. But I can't focus. I keep seeing that receipt. 847 Riverside Drive, 6:47 a.m. Mr. Martinez? I look up. Keisha Thompson in the front row has her hand raised. Yes, Keisha. You were staring at the wall for like 30 seconds. Are you okay? The class is watching me. 32 pairs of eyes, concerned, some amused, most just waiting for me to continue. Sorry, late night. Let's continue with Act 3, Scene 1. I find my place in the book. My hands are shaking slightly. I press them flat against the desk. Romeo says, I thought thy disposition better tempered. He's talking about Mercutio's anger, about how violence escalates, but really, I pause, look at my students. Really, he's talking about being blind, about not seeing the truth until it's too late. Keisha writes that down, so do half the others. I've taught this play for 22 years. Every year I tell them about family betrayal, about impossible choices, about love turning toxic, and I never saw I was living it. The bell rings, students pack up, file out, a few say goodbye, most are already on their phones. Maria Santos appears in my doorway. She teaches Spanish, same floor. We've been friends since I started at Riverside High. She's 52, no nonsense, sees through bullshit like it's made of glass. You look like hell, she says. Thanks, Maria, that's exactly what I needed to hear. She comes in, closes the door, sits on the edge of a desk. What's going on? You just taught Mercutio's death scene like you were reading a grocery list. I should tell her. Maria would know what to do. Maria always knows what to do. But the words stick in my throat. Just tired? Daniel Joseph Martinez. I've known you for 17 years. You don't do just tired. You do enthusiastic and slightly manic, or you do quietly falling apart. Right now, you're falling apart. I lean back in my chair. It squeaks, same chair I've had since 2003. Jessica flushed her wedding ring last night. Maria's eyebrows go up. Flushed? Like, down the toilet? Mid-argument, called it a cheap embarrassment, then just dropped it and flushed. Jesus. And I stop. Can't say it yet. I found something that doesn't make sense. Maria waits. She's good at waiting. A pregnancy test. Positive. In our bedroom. Her face softens. Danny, that's congratulations? I mean, is that what you... The receipt was from a CVS on Brandon Street, bought at 6:47 in the morning when she was supposed to be at a conference in San Francisco. The softness disappears. Brandon? Your daughter's fiancé? Brandon? I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe she... Daniel, stop. Maria stands up, walks over to my desk. Listen to yourself. You're making excuses before you even know what's happening. I can't, Maria. Natalie's wedding is in 9 weeks, if I'm wrong. And if you're right? I don't answer. My phone buzzes. A text from Natalie. At Miguel's, corner booth. Maria sees it. Go. Have lunch with your daughter. But Daniel, don't ignore this. Whatever this is, you can't teach Romeo and Juliet for 22 years and not learn the lesson. She leaves. I sit alone in my classroom, 30 desks in 6 rows, posters about literary devices, student essays pinned to the corkboard. On my desk, my worn copy of Romeo and Juliet. 22 years of margin notes, all that wisdom about seeing truth, about not enabling destruction, and I've been blind the whole time. I grab my keys, my wallet, head out to meet my daughter for lunch. I don't know it yet, but she's about to hand me the proof. Miguel's is a local place. Mexican food, good margaritas. Natalie and I have been coming here since she was 16. She's in the corner booth, already ordered. Chicken enchiladas for her, carnitas tacos for me. She knows my order by heart. Dad, she stands up, hugs me. She smells like the perfume I bought her for graduation. Something light and flowery, not like Jessica's heavy Chanel. Hi, sweetheart. We sit. She's smiling, that bright, open smile she's had since she was a kid. Natalie looks like her mother, same dark hair, same green eyes, but she has my personality. Optimistic, idealistic, believes the best in people. So, she says, I need your opinion on something. Wedding stuff? Kind of. More like, I don't know, something weird happened. My chest tightens. Weird how? She pulls out her phone, opens it, hesitates. I found these text messages on Brandon's iPad. It syncs with his phone automatically. He doesn't know I saw them. She slides the phone across the table. I look at the screen, a conversation. Between Brandon and someone listed as M. The messages are explicit. Can't wait to feel your body again. Last night was incredible. She'll never know. We're so good together, baby. My vision tunnels. I scroll up. More messages, weeks of them, pet names, plans to meet, references to hotels. Dad, Natalie's voice sounds far away. Do you know who M could be? Brandon says it's just a friend, but these don't sound like friendship texts. I'm still scrolling, looking at the words, the phrases, baby as a pet name. That's what Jessica calls herself when she's being playful. Baby needs coffee. Baby's tired. I've heard it 1,000 times. And there's a phrase, feeling fancy tonight. Jessica says that when she's getting dressed up. Feeling fancy tonight. It's in these texts. Feeling fancy tonight. Meet me at the Grand. The Grand. That's the hotel from the credit card, the one downtown. 3 miles from our house. The $312 charge I thought was a mistake. Dad, you're scaring me. Do you know who this is? I look up at my daughter. She has tears in her eyes. She's engaged, planning a wedding, picking out flowers and bridesmaid dresses and writing vows. And her fiancé is sleeping with someone who texts like her mother. I should tell her, right now. Should show her the receipt. The pregnancy test. Connect the dots she hasn't connected yet. But the words won't come. Because once I say it out loud, I can't take it back. Once Natalie knows her mother is sleeping with her fiancé, everything changes. My voice cracks. I don't know, sweetheart, but these definitely aren't friendship texts. She wipes her eyes. I confronted him this morning. He said I was being paranoid, that M is just a friend from work, that I'm stressed about the wedding and seeing things that aren't there. Gaslighting. That's what that is, making her doubt her own reality. I reach across the table, take her hand. You're not paranoid, you're not crazy. These texts are real, and they're wrong. But who is M? I squeeze her hand. The phone is still between us. 23 pages of printed screenshots. I saw the printer header in the corner. She printed them all. And I see her handwriting in the margin. Notes, question marks, circled timestamps. She's analyzing them like I taught her. Breaking down evidence, looking for patterns. She learned that from me. English class, critical thinking, how to read between the lines. I taught her too well. Natalie, I need to look into something. Can I take photos of these? You think you know who it is? I think there's something happening here that's bigger than we know, but I need to be sure before I say anything. She nods, pushes the phone closer. Take whatever photos you need, Dad, please. I love Brandon. We're supposed to get married in 9 weeks, but I can't marry someone who's lying to me. I take photos, every page, every text, every timestamp. My hands are steady now, focused. This is evidence. This is proof. And I recognize every phrase, every pet name, every pattern of speech. M isn't just anyone. M is Jessica. My wife is sleeping with my daughter's fiancé. Our food arrives. Natalie tries to eat, pushes her enchiladas around her plate. I can't even look at mine. Do you think he loves me? She asks quietly. Oh, sweetheart. Because if he doesn't, I'd rather know now, before the wedding, before we... Her voice breaks. Before I promise forever to someone who doesn't mean it. I want to tell her, want to explain everything, want to protect her from the truth that's going to destroy her, but I can't. Not yet. Not until I'm absolutely sure. I'm going to figure this out, I tell her. I promise. But Natalie, whatever happens, you are loved, you are valued, and you deserve someone who treats you like you're precious. She smiles, small and sad. You sound like a teacher. I am a teacher. Best job in the world. We finish lunch. Or try to. She goes back to her apartment. I go back to school. In my car, I look at the photos on my phone. 23 pages of text messages. She asked me who M could be, and I saw my wife's words, her exact phrases, on every page. That evening, I'm in my home office. Jessica still isn't back from her late dinner. It's 9 p.m. I'm supposed to be working on tomorrow's faculty meeting presentation, The Crucible, John Proctor's choice between confession and integrity. Instead, I'm organizing wedding documents. We have folders, color-coded, Jessica insisted. Green for venue, blue for catering, yellow for flowers, pink for photography. I open the green folder. Inside is the contract with Prescott Estate Vineyard, 12 pages, heavy paper, expensive letterhead. I flip to page 8. Signatures, Jessica Martinez. March 3rd, 2024, Brandon Prescott. March 3rd, 2024, March 3rd. I grab my laptop, open Jessica's email. She leaves it logged in on the home computer. For emergencies, she says. I search for March 3rd. There, an email confirmation. San Francisco Pharmaceutical Conference, March 2-4. Registration confirmed. She was supposed to be in San Francisco, but she signed the venue contract in Riverside. Same day, I check her credit card, the one we share for household expenses. March 3rd, Hilton San Francisco, $347. But she was here, in Riverside, signing wedding documents, unless, I keep scrolling, March 3rd, the Grand Riverside, $412. She charged a hotel, 3 miles from our house, on the same day she signed Natalie's wedding venue, contract, with Brandon. My hands are shaking again. The laptop screen blurs. There's more. I know there's more. I open the credit card full statement. 3 months worth, hotels, 18 of them. Restaurants I've never been to, hundreds of dollars, and there, on page 6, Tiffany & Co. 3,400. I click the detail, men's watch, engraved. I pull up Brandon's Instagram, scroll back 2 weeks. There, a photo, him at some business event, smiling, suit jacket open, on his wrist. A silver watch, distinctive, expensive, the same watch, the one Jessica bought with our credit card. The one she told me was a business gift when I asked about the charge. I sit back. The office chair squeaks. The evidence is everywhere, in every folder, every receipt, every time stamp. My wife is having an affair with my daughter's fiancé, has been, for months, while planning their wedding, while buying hotel rooms on our credit card, while carrying his child. The signature date was March 3rd. Her conference badge said San Francisco. The venue is in Riverside. I drive, no destination, just away. It's 10 p.m., Thursday night. Riverside is quiet, strip malls, fast food. The community college dark for the night. I end up downtown, by the new high-rises. the expensive part of town that's been gentrifying for 5 years. There's a restaurant, French, small, exclusive. I've never been there, never could afford it. And there, in the parking lot, is Jessica's Lexus. Company car, silver, California plates. I know the number by heart. Next to it, a black BMW, Prescott Development vanity plate. I pull into a spot across the street, turn off my engine. I should leave, should go home, should not be sitting here like some private investigator. But I can't move. The restaurant has valet service, floor-to-ceiling windows. I can see people inside, dim lighting, candles on tables. I wait. 20 minutes later, the door opens. Jessica comes out first, wearing the dress she bought last month, the black one. $400 at Nordstrom. Brandon follows, his hand on her lower back. They stand under the awning, talking, laughing. He leans in, kisses her cheek, lingers. She touches his arm, says something, smiles. The valet brings their cars. Jessica gets in hers. Brandon gets in his. They both drive away, different directions. I sit in my car, engine off, streetlights reflecting off my windshield. In my backpack, the one I use for school, is my theater program, The Crucible, spring production, my name is director. Student quotes in the margins, Mr. M taught me to fight for truth. I've been directing a play about lies destroying a community, while living the same story. I watched my wife put her hand on my daughter's fiancé's lower back, and I knew Natalie's wedding couldn't happen. Friday morning, I text Natalie, "Can we talk today?" She responds immediately. My apartment, 4 p.m. I have to teach all day first. 4 classes, 128 students total. Somehow, I need to stand in front of them and pretend everything is normal. But in third period, I'm teaching Hamlet. Act 1. To thine own self be true. Sarah Kim raises her hand. Mr. Martinez, do you think Polonius actually believes his own advice? Or is he just saying what sounds good? I stare at the board, at the quote I've written in my handwriting. I think... My voice sounds strange. I think sometimes we teach truths we haven't learned to live ourselves. The class goes quiet. Sarah looks concerned. Are you okay, Mr. Martinez? Yeah, sorry, late night. I force a smile. Let's continue. After class, Maria catches me in the hallway. You look worse than yesterday. Thanks, Maria. I brought you something. She holds out a manila folder, worn at the edges, old. What is this? Your recommendation letters. I keep copies for you, remember? 22 years worth. Every kid you've written for. I take the folder. It's heavier than it should be. Not physical weight, something else. Why are you giving me this? Maria's face softens. Because you spend your life teaching kids their worth, and I think you need to remember yours. She walks away before I can respond. I'm standing in the hallway, students rushing past. The folder in my hands, I open it. Inside, copies of hundreds of letters, organized by year, some with thank you notes attached, index cards, different handwriting, some in pencil, faded. The whole thing smells like old paper and time. I flip to 2006, find a name I remember, Kenneth Liu. Kenneth has shown me that integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing truth even when lies are easier. I wrote that 18 years ago. For a quiet kid who wanted to go to law school. He's a lawyer now, here in Riverside. I see his ads on bus benches sometimes. I close the folder. Maria's right. I teach this stuff. Have been teaching it for 22 years. Now, I need to live it. Natalie's apartment is small, 1 bedroom. She shares it with 2 other teachers, Emma and Priya. They're not home when I arrive. Natalie's on the couch, still in her work clothes, elementary school teacher dress code, cardigan, sensible shoes, hair in a ponytail. She looks young, too young to be dealing with this. Hi, Dad. Hi, sweetheart. I sit in the armchair across from her, the one with the throw blanket she crocheted herself. So, she folds her hands. You said you needed to talk. This is it. The moment where I tell her. I've been rehearsing all day, different versions, different approaches, none of them work, because there's no good way to tell your daughter that her fiancé is cheating on her, even without the rest of it. I found something about Brandon. Her face goes pale. You know who M is? Yes, no, I mean... I stop. Breathe. Natalie, I found evidence that Brandon is having an affair, a serious one. It's been going on for months. She doesn't move, just stares at me. Who? I need to be completely sure before Dad, who? I can't tell her yet. Can't say it's her mother. Not until I have absolute proof. Not until there's no doubt. Someone close to us. Someone who, Natalie, I need you to trust me. I'm working on getting more evidence, but those texts you showed me, they're real and they're recent. And there are hotel receipts, credit card charges, a pattern. Her hands start shaking. How long? At least 5 months, maybe longer. 5 months. She repeats it like she doesn't understand the words. We've been engaged for 8 months. I know. We're supposed to get married in 9 weeks. I know. Her voice breaks. Dad, I've been planning colors and flowers and seating charts. And he's been... She stands up, paces to the window, wraps her arms around herself. Who is it? I need to know. Soon, I promise. But Natalie, I need you to consider postponing the wedding or canceling it just until we... You want me to cancel my wedding because you think maybe Brandon is cheating, but you won't even tell me who with. She's getting angry. I recognize the signs. Same as when she was a teenager. Voice getting sharper. Hands gesturing faster. That's not fair, Dad. That's not... You can't just drop this on me and expect me to trust you without proof. I have proof. I have texts and receipts and... Then show me. I pull out my phone. Show her the credit card statement. The 18 hotels, the restaurants, the dates. She reads, scrolls, her face changing. This is Mom's credit card. Shit. Yes. These are Mom's charges. Yes. So you think Mom knows who Brandon is? She stops, looks up at me. Oh my God. I watch her mind work. See the pieces clicking together. No, Dad. That's insane. Mom would never... Natalie, she's my mother. She's planning my wedding. Dad, you're wrong. You have to be wrong. She's backing away from me, toward the door. I need to talk to Brandon. I need to hear him deny this. Natalie, wait. No, you're wrong. You're wrong about this. Brandon loves me. Mom loves me. And you're upset about whatever's happening with you and Mom, and you're seeing things that aren't there. She grabs her keys, her phone. Natalie, please. I need to go. She leaves. The door closes hard. I sit in her apartment, in the armchair with the crocheted blanket. She said I was wrong, told me I was seeing things, just like Brandon told her she was paranoid. Saturday morning, I'm grading essays at the kitchen table. Jessica came home around 2 a.m., went straight to bed without speaking to me. She's still asleep upstairs. My phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Martinez? This is Father Thomas O'Brien from St. Catherine's. Father O'Brien, the priest, the one who's supposed to marry Natalie and Brandon in 9 weeks. Father, hi, is everything... I was hoping we could talk. Natalie came to see me yesterday evening. She was quite upset. Said something about the wedding possibly being called off. My chest tightens. She told you? Not details. Just that there was a concern about Brandon and about family. He pauses. Daniel, I've known you and Jessica for 15 years. I baptized Natalie. I'd like to help if I can. I don't know if you can help with this, Father. Why don't you come to the church? We can talk, off the record. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting in his office. Small room, bookshelves, a window overlooking the courtyard, crucifix on the wall. Father O'Brien is 68. White hair, kind eyes. The kind of priest people actually trust. Tell me what's happening, he says. So I do. All of it. The ring, the pregnancy test, the texts, the credit card charges, the restaurant, the watch. He listens without interrupting. When I finish, he's quiet for a long time. You're certain it's Jessica? The texts match her speech patterns exactly. The credit card is hers. The timeline fits. The pregnancy is... I stop. Father, I found a positive pregnancy test. The receipt shows she bought it on Brandon Street at 6:47 in the morning. She was supposed to be at a conference in San Francisco. He nods slowly. And you haven't confronted her? Not yet. I wanted to protect Natalie first. Wanted to stop the wedding before your daughter marries the man who's sleeping with her mother. Hearing it said out loud makes it real. Yes. Father O'Brien sighs, leans back in his chair. Daniel, I need to ask you something, and I want you to really think about the answer, okay? What do you need from me? Advice about your marriage or permission to leave it? The question catches me off guard. I don't know. I think you do. His voice is gentle. You teach students about integrity, about choosing truth over comfort. You've done it for 22 years. Now you need to do it for yourself. My throat is tight. Father, the church's position on divorce is about protecting the sanctity of marriage. But Daniel, there's no sanctity left to protect here. Your wife has betrayed you. She's betrayed your daughter. She's carrying another man's child. A man who's engaged to your daughter. I start crying, right there in his office. Don't even realize it's happening until I feel the tears. I don't know how to leave her, I say. I fix broken things. That's what I do. I'm a teacher. I help people. I don't give up on people. Leaving someone who's destroying you isn't giving up. It's choosing yourself. Father O'Brien hands me tissues from his desk. I teach students about Atticus Finch standing for integrity. I teach them about Hamlet finding courage. What do I teach them if I stay with a woman who betrayed our daughter? What does that say about everything I've taught about self-worth? Father O'Brien has tears in his eyes too. Daniel, sometimes the most important lesson is showing them when to walk away. Teach her that. We sit in silence. The church bell rings outside. 10 o'clock Saturday Mass. What do I do now? I ask. You document everything. You talk to a lawyer. You protect your daughter. And you tell Jessica the truth that you know. And then you do what you've taught 1,000 students to do. You choose truth even when lies are easier. I leave the church, get in my car. Maria's folder is on the passenger seat. The recommendation letters. I open it again. Find Kenneth Liu's letter from 2006. Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing truth even when lies are easier. I taught him that. Now I need to learn it myself. Monday morning, I call Kenneth Liu's office. The receptionist puts me through. Mr. Martinez, is that you? Hi, Kenneth. I need a lawyer, and I remembered you. Of course. What's going on? It's about my marriage and my daughter's wedding, and it's complicated. Come to my office, 2 o'clock today. We'll figure it out. Kenneth Liu's law office is downtown. Small firm, 3 attorneys, professional but not showy. He meets me in the lobby himself, shakes my hand. He's 38 now, confident, nothing like the quiet kid I wrote a letter for. Mr. Martinez, it's good to see you. I wish it were under better circumstances. We go to his office, sit across from each other at his desk. I show him everything. The credit card statement, the texts Natalie printed, the venue contract with the impossible date, the pregnancy test receipt, photos from Brandon's Instagram with the watch. He reviews it all, makes notes. His face stays neutral. How long has the affair been going on? He asks. At least 5 months, maybe longer. And your daughter is engaged to this man? Yes, wedding is in 8 weeks now, June 15th. He sets down his pen. Daniel, can I call you Daniel? Of course. This is one of the most clear-cut cases of infidelity I've seen. The evidence is overwhelming. Hotel receipts, text messages, the pregnancy, all of it documented. So you believe me? I believe the evidence. And the evidence doesn't lie. He opens a drawer, pulls out a form. I need to ask, do you want to file for divorce? The word feels huge. Divorce. 24 years of marriage, all of it ending with a signature on legal documents. I don't know what I want. I just know I can't let Natalie marry Brandon. I can't let this wedding happen. Have you told your daughter the full truth, that her mother is the one having the affair? Not yet. She confronted Brandon. He denied everything, told her I was paranoid, jealous, making things up. Kenneth nods. Classic gaslighting. We see it all the time. He leans forward. Daniel, I have to be honest with you. If you want to stop this wedding, you need to tell Natalie everything. Soon, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. I know, I keep hoping there's another way. Some way that doesn't destroy her. There isn't. His voice is gentle but firm. This is going to hurt her no matter what. The only question is whether she finds out before the wedding or after. He slides a paper across the desk. This is an order for a paternity test, court mandated. If Jessica is pregnant, we need to know whose child it is, for legal purposes. I stare at the form. You wrote me a letter once, Kenneth says quietly. Do you remember what you wrote? I look up. You told me that integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing truth even when lies are easier. He taps the form. You taught me that. Now I'm teaching you. Choose truth. Dr. Liu said, you taught me integrity means choosing truth when lies are easier. Then he slid a paternity test order form across his desk. If you've ever had to make an impossible choice, had to choose between protecting someone you love and telling them a truth that will break them, I need you to know something. There's no right answer, just degrees of wrong. If you've been there, if you've stood at that crossroad, just type teacher in the comments, because sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones we have to learn ourselves. 3 weeks pass. I file the paternity test order. The court approves it. Jessica is served with the papers. She comes home from work and throws them at me. A paternity test? Are you fucking serious, Daniel? We're in the kitchen. It's the first real conversation we've had in weeks. Yes, you actually believe. I found the pregnancy test, Jessica, the receipt from the CVS on Brandon Street at 6:47 in the morning when you were supposed to be at a conference. Her face goes white. I can explain that. Then explain the hotel charges, 18 of them. The restaurants, the watch you bought Brandon that cost $3,400 on our credit card. She sits down at the kitchen table, hard, like her legs gave out. How long have you known? Does it matter? Daniel, how long have you been sleeping with our daughter's fiancé? She doesn't answer. I pull out a chair, sit across from her, like we're having a normal conversation, like we're discussing grocery shopping. The paternity test results come back in 10 days, but we both know what they're going to say. She's crying now. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. How was it supposed to happen? I don't know. Brandon makes me feel young, valued, like I matter. And I don't make you feel that way? You make me feel like a teacher's wife, like someone who should be grateful for a modest house and a modest life and a modest ring that costs less than my car payment. There it is. The truth under all the lies. She's ashamed of me, has been for years. So, you slept with our daughter's fiancé. I didn't mean to fall in love with him. Love. She called it love. Does Natalie know? She asks. Not yet, but she will. Soon. Jessica stands up, wipes her eyes. You're going to ruin her life. You know that? You're going to destroy her wedding, her relationship, her trust in her own mother, all because you can't handle that I'm happy for once. You're pregnant with her fiancé's baby, Jessica. You destroyed everything. Not me. She leaves the kitchen, goes upstairs, starts packing. By evening, she's gone, moved into Brandon's condo. The house is quiet. I call Natalie. Can you come over tonight? Dad, I'm really busy with... Natalie, please, I need to tell you something, and it can't wait anymore. Silence on the line. Okay, I'll be there in an hour. It's dark when she arrives, almost 9 p.m. I'm sitting at the kitchen table with all the evidence laid out. Credit card statements, text messages, the venue contract, the pregnancy test receipt, the paternity test order, and the results. They came back this afternoon. Email from the court. 99.97% probability of paternity. Brandon Michael Prescott. Natalie walks in, sees the table. What is all this? Sit down, sweetheart. She does, slowly, looking at all the papers. Dad, you're scaring me. I take a breath. This is it. The moment I've been dreading for weeks. Remember when you asked me who M was in those texts? Yes. I need to tell you something, and it's going to be the hardest thing you've ever heard. But I need you to listen, all the way through, okay? She nods. Her hands are already shaking. M is your mother. Silence. What? Jessica is having an affair with Brandon. Has been for at least 5 months. They've met in 18 different hotels. She's bought him gifts. My voice cracks. She's pregnant, and the baby is his. Natalie stares at me, not blinking, not moving. That's not funny. I'm not joking. No, you're... Dad, that's insane. Mom would never... I slide the paternity test results across the table. She reads them. Once, twice, 3 times. This says Brandon is... The father? Yes. She makes a sound I've never heard before, Not a scream, something worse, something that comes from a place deeper than words. Natalie, no, 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 no. She stands up, backs away from the table. This isn't real. This can't be real. I stand too, try to reach for her. She pulls away. Don't touch me. Don't. She's crying, hyperventilating. The woman who gave birth to me is sleeping with my fiancé? I'm so sorry, sweetheart. We have a photographer, a cake, invitations. I have a dress. I have a fucking dress, Dad. Her voice breaks completely. Did she think about me? Even once? Did she think about me while they were? She can't finish the sentence. Neither can I. Because I've been asking myself the same question for weeks. Natalie slides down the wall, sits on the kitchen floor, hugs her knees to her chest. I don't understand. Why would she do this? Why would either of them? I sit down next to her, on the floor. The tile is cold. I don't know. Did she ever love me? Oh, sweetheart. No, answer me. Did my mother, the woman who raised me, who taught me to read, who braided my hair for school pictures, did she ever actually love me? Or was I just something she had to deal with? I pull her close. She fights it for a second, then collapses against my shoulder. We sit on the kitchen floor and cry. Father and daughter. Both betrayed by the same two people. Outside, it starts raining. The sound hits the windows, soft at first, then harder. I can't marry him, Natalie whispers. No, I can't see her. I know. Dad, what do I do? The wedding is in 7 weeks. Everyone's invited. The Prescotts, the church, all our family. We cancel it, tomorrow. We call the venue, cancel everything. But everyone will ask why. Let them ask. She pulls back, looks at me. Her eyes are red, mascara running. I thought I knew what love looked like. I thought I was so sure Brandon loved me. And Mom, I thought she loved me. I thought... Her voice breaks again. I hold her, and I realize. This is the moment. The moment where I either teach her that betrayal defines her, or I teach her that it doesn't. Listen to me, I say. What they did, that's about who they are, not who you are. You are not less because they chose to be less. You understand? She nods against my shoulder. You deserve someone who sees you, really sees you, and stays. Not because you're perfect, but because you're you. Like you saw Mom? I pause. I saw who I wanted her to be, not who she was. We sit there until the rain stops, until Natalie's breathing evens out, until I can feel her gathering herself back together. She's stronger than I gave her credit for, stronger than I am. I need to see Mom, she says finally. I need to hear her say it. I need to look her in the eye and ask her why. Are you sure? No, but I need to do it anyway. We stand up. My knees crack. Her legs are unsteady. Tomorrow, she says. I'll go tomorrow. Do you want me to come with you? No, this is something I need to do alone. She leaves around 11. I watch her drive away. Then I'm alone in the house, in the kitchen, with all the evidence still on the table. The paternity test results stare up at me. 99.97% probability. In 7 weeks, Jessica and Brandon were supposed to watch Natalie get married. Now they'll be having a baby together instead. Natalie asked if her mother ever loved her, and I had no answer. Tuesday morning, Kenneth Liu's office. I'm signing divorce papers. California is a no-fault state, means I don't technically need to prove adultery, but we're including it anyway. Emotional distress claims, timeline documentation, everything. Kenneth slides the petition across his desk. Once you file this, it becomes public record. Anyone can look it up. Good. He raises an eyebrow. Most people want privacy. Most people aren't trying to protect their daughter from marrying a man who's sleeping with his mother-in-law. I sign. Date it. My hand is steady. What about the house? Kenneth asks. It's in both our names. We'll split the proceeds. I don't care about the money. I care about Natalie's college fund. The $84,000 I saved. That needs to be protected. We'll make sure it is. He makes a note. And Jessica? Has she responded to the paternity results? She moved out, into Brandon's condo downtown. Hasn't spoken to Natalie yet. And the wedding? Natalie's calling the venue today. As if on cue, my phone buzzes. Text from Natalie. It's done. Wedding canceled. Venue keeping the deposit, but I don't care. Can't get our money back from anything. $32K gone. $32,000. 2 years of summer school gone. I text back, money doesn't matter. You matter. She sends a heart emoji. Then, Mom texted me. Wants to meet. Should I? I look at Kenneth. Natalie wants to meet with Jessica. Should I let her? That's not your decision anymore. She's 24, but... He pauses. Tell her to meet somewhere public, and maybe record the conversation, just in case. I text Natalie, public place only, coffee shop, and sweetie, record it on your phone, you might need it later. She doesn't respond. That afternoon, I'm at school, 3 more weeks until graduation, then summer break. I need to make it 3 more weeks. Principal Chen stops me in the hallway. Daniel, can we talk? His office is neat, organized, photos of his family on the desk, diplomas on the wall. I heard about your situation, he says carefully, with Jessica and Natalie's wedding. Small town, word travels. I'm sorry you heard that way. Maria told me, in confidence. But Daniel, I need to know, is this going to affect your ability to teach? No? Because graduation is in 3 weeks. You're giving the Teacher of the Year speech. And the Prescott family, they're major donors. They'll be there. I know. Brandon's mother, Sophia, already called, asked if there was a situation that needed addressing. He leans forward. What do I tell her? Tell her the truth, that my daughter was engaged to her son, and that engagement is now broken, and that's all anyone needs to know. Chen nods slowly. Okay, but Daniel, if this becomes a disruption, it won't. I leave his office. In my classroom, I have 4th period in 10 minutes. Hamlet, Act 5, the ending. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. I'm living that line. My phone buzzes, Natalie calling. Dad! Hi, sweetheart. How did it go? I met Mom at that Starbucks downtown. Her voice is flat, empty. She cried, said she was sorry, said she never meant to hurt me. What did you say? I asked her why. Why him? Why my fiancé? Why during my engagement? Natalie's voice cracks. She said Brandon made her feel alive, that you made her feel small, that she deserved better than a teacher's salary and a modest life. Those words, small, modest, deserved better. Jessica's been saying that for years. I just never wanted to hear it. She's keeping the baby, Natalie continues. Brandon wants her to get an abortion, doesn't want complications, but she's keeping it. How do you feel about that? I don't know how I feel about anything anymore. My mother is having a baby with my ex-fiancé. That baby is my, what? My sibling? My stepchild that never was? It's insane. I know. And Dad? She asked if I'd forgive her, someday. What did you say? Silence. Then. I said maybe, eventually. But not today. And maybe not for a very long time. That's fair. Is it? Because I feel like a terrible person. She's my mom. I should want to forgive her. Natalie, you don't owe anyone forgiveness, especially not on their timeline. She said you're ruining the family, that you're turning me against her. I close my eyes. I'm not turning you against anyone. I showed you evidence. You made your own decision. I know. I told her that. Then I left. We're both quiet. Dad, are you okay? Am I okay? My wife left me for a man half her age. My daughter's wedding is canceled. I'm filing for divorce after 24 years. And in 3 weeks I have to stand in front of 2,000 people and pretend I have wisdom to share. I'm getting there, I say. Me too. We hang up. 4th period starts filing in. 28 seniors, 3 weeks from graduation. Sarah Kim stops at my desk. Mr. Martinez, I heard about you and Mrs. Martinez. I'm really sorry. Thank you, Sarah. My parents got divorced last year. It sucked, but my mom is happier now. I hope you will be too. She goes to her seat. I open my worn copy of Hamlet, the one with 22 years of notes. Okay, I say to the class. Act 5, the ending. Hamlet finally takes action, finally chooses truth over hesitation, and it costs him everything. Keisha raises her hand. But he wins, right? Like, morally? What do you think? I think sometimes winning means losing everything you thought you wanted. So You can become who you're supposed to be. I stare at her. That's exactly right, Keisha. Jessica sent one text. You'll regret destroying our family over your pride. She still didn't understand. She'd destroyed it months ago. 4 days later, Friday evening, my phone rings, unknown number. Daniel Martinez? Yes. This is Sophia Prescott, Brandon's mother. We need to talk. Sophia. Riverside Society figure. Her family name is on buildings, on park benches, on the hospital wing. Mrs. Prescott. I'm at the Riverside Country Club. Can you come? Now? Yes. I can be there in 20 minutes. The country club is old money. Oak trees, manicured lawns, valet parking. I pull up in my 10-year-old Honda Civic. The valet looks at it like I've brought a bicycle. Inside, Sophia Prescott is waiting in the private dining room, 60 years old, elegant, the kind of woman who makes power look effortless. Mr. Martinez, thank you for coming. Mrs. Prescott, sit, please. I sit. She's already ordered scotch, 2 glasses, slides one toward me. I hired a private investigator, she says without preamble. 2 weeks ago, after Natalie canceled the wedding, I wanted to know why. Okay. The investigator found 18 hotel stays, multiple restaurant charges, credit card fraud, and a pregnancy. She opens a folder, slides it across the table. Your credit card. Used to fund my son's affair with your wife. I look at the folder. It's thick, detailed, photographs, timestamps, surveillance. You knew, I say. I've known for 2 weeks. I wanted to be sure before acting. She sips her scotch. My son has humiliated me, humiliated our family name. He seduced an older woman, a married woman, and got her pregnant while engaged to her daughter. Sophia, let me finish. Her voice is steel. I've spent 30 years building this family's reputation, donating to schools, supporting churches, making sure the Prescott name means something in this community. I understand. No, you don't. She leans forward. Tomorrow morning, I'm holding a family meeting. Brandon will be there, Jessica will be there, and Brandon will do the right thing, which is marry her, legitimize that baby, take responsibility for his choices. I blink. You're going to force him to marry Jessica? I'm going to strongly encourage him, and if he refuses, he'll find himself cut off from the family business. No trust fund, no condo, no job, nothing. A shotgun wedding, old school, brutal. That seems fair. It is. He made his bed. Now he'll lie in it. She finishes her scotch. And Jessica will discover that marrying a spoiled 26-year-old who resents her is not the fairy tale she imagined. That baby will be well cared for. I'll make sure of it. But Brandon and Jessica will be miserable together. And that, Mr. Martinez, is justice. She stands, smooths her skirt. I've already spoken to Father O'Brien. He won't marry them, but the courthouse will, next week. Why are you telling me this? Because you deserve to know. And because I'm sorry. Sorry your daughter was hurt. Sorry you were betrayed. And sorry my son is a coward who couldn't resist an affair with a woman who should have known better. She leaves. I sit alone in the private dining room with a glass of scotch I haven't touched. Sophia Prescott just promised me revenge. And I didn't even have to ask for it. 3 weeks later, graduation day, Riverside High School Stadium, 2,200 students, plus families, over 4,000 people total. The sun is hot. June in California. Everyone's in folding chairs on the football field. Graduates in blue and gold gowns. I'm on stage with the other faculty, Principal Chen, school board members, and the keynote speaker slot, me, Teacher of the Year. In the front row, I can see Maria, waving, proud. Next to her, Natalie, she came, wearing a sundress, sunglasses hiding her eyes. The Prescott family section is conspicuously empty. Brandon and Jessica got married 4 days ago. Courthouse wedding, 10 people, no reception. Natalie didn't go. Neither did I. Principal Chen steps to the podium. And now, our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Daniel Martinez, will share a few words. Applause. Students cheering, some of them shouting, Mr. M. I stand, walk to the podium, look out at 4,000 faces. My throat is tight. I have notes, prepared remarks, safe, inspiring, generic. I leave them in my pocket. 22 years ago, I start. I stood in front of my first class, 19 years old, scared, excited, holding a worn copy of Romeo and Juliet. I pull out that copy, hold it up, the one with the taped cover, the margins full of notes. I taught this play every year. I told you about family betrayal, about impossible choices, about love turning tragic when people choose loyalty over truth. Pause. Let it breathe. I taught that the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet isn't that they died. It's that no one had the courage to stop them, to say, "This is wrong, this will destroy you. Walk away." More silence. The stadium is quiet now. This year I learned something. I was teaching it wrong. Murmurs in the crowd. The real tragedy isn't that they died young. The real tragedy is that no one, not the friar, not the nurse, not the parents, had the courage to model a different ending, to show them that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is say, "This story is destroying me." I'm writing a different one. I look at Natalie. She's taken off her sunglasses, crying. I taught you to fight for relationships, to fix what's broken, to never give up on people. My voice cracks. But this year, I learned some things can't be fixed. Some people don't want to be saved. And staying in a story that's killing you isn't brave. It's just slow suicide. The faculty section shifts, some nodding, some looking uncomfortable. So today I'm teaching you something new, something I had to learn the hard way. I grip the podium. It's okay to leave. It's okay to say, "This isn't working. This is hurting me. I deserve better." It's okay to rewrite your ending. Silence. Then someone starts clapping. Sarah Kim, front row, standing, then Keisha, then the whole AP English class, then more students, then parents, then faculty. Half the stadium stands up, crying, clapping. Maria is sobbing, Natalie is sobbing, I'm sobbing. I taught literature for 24 years, I say. The greatest story is when someone rewrites their ending. The applause is deafening. I walk back to my seat, sit down, can't stop shaking. Principal Chen grips my shoulder. "That was brave," he whispers. The ceremony continues, names called, diplomas handed out, tassels turned. After, in the parking lot, students swarm me, hugging, thanking, telling me their own stories of leaving, of choosing themselves. Natalie finds me, wraps her arms around me. "I'm proud of you, Dad." "I'm proud of you too, sweetheart," she pulls back. I deferred my teaching contract for next year, taking a year off, to heal, to figure out who I am without all of this. That's smart. And I'm moving back home, if that's okay. Of course it's okay. We walk to the parking lot together, father and daughter. Maria catches up to us, hands me something, my Romeo and Juliet teaching copy. I'd left it on the podium. "You'll need this next year," she says. "Will I?" "Yeah, because next year you're teaching it right, for the first time." She winks, walks away. I look at the book, at the taped cover, at the 22 years of notes. I taught Romeo and Juliet for 22 years. This time, I'm writing a different ending. Daniel and Natalie redefined what family means. Not who you're born to, but who shows up. Who stays when staying is hard. If you've built your own chosen family, the people who became home when home wasn't safe, tell me about them in the comments. And if this story moved you, if you felt Daniel's pain and Natalie's heartbreak and their hard-won peace, subscribe. I tell stories about finding your worth when others try to define it for you. About rewriting endings. I'll see you in the next one. 2 years later, spring, April, California. Sunshine. St. Catherine's Church, but not the main sanctuary, the small chapel. Holds 50 people maximum. Natalie's real wedding. She's marrying James Orozco, elementary music teacher. They met at a teacher's conference last fall. He makes her laugh, really laugh, the kind that comes from joy, not performance. He's kind, patient, the kind of man who brings flowers for no reason, who remembers her coffee order, who asked me for permission to propose even though Natalie's 26 and doesn't need permission from anyone. I liked him immediately. The chapel is full, 50 people who matter. Maria is here, Father O'Brien, Dr. Kenneth Liu and his family, Principal Chen, Natalie's teaching friends, James's family, no Prescotts, no Jessica. Jessica sends a card. "Congratulations, Natalie. I hope you'll forgive me someday. Love, Mom." Natalie didn't respond. I'm in the small room behind the chapel, wearing a suit, nervous. Natalie appears in the doorway, in her dress. Simple. Elegant. Nothing like the elaborate gown she'd picked out for Brandon. Ready, Dad? I think I should be asking you that. She smiles, comes closer. I'm ready. I notice something on her hand, her right hand, a ring, simple gold band, small diamond, my ring, the one Jessica flushed. I retrieved it that night, 2 years ago, from the plumbing trap. Kept it in my dresser drawer, proof I'd built something valuable once. You're wearing it, I say. Something borrowed. She holds it up. Grandma wore this for 52 years and never wanted different. That's what real love looks like, right? My throat is tight. Right. Jessica called it cheap, but it's not. It's just real. No pretense, no performance, just... She touches the diamond. Just love. I hug her, careful not to wrinkle her dress. I'm so proud of you, I whisper. I'm proud of us. We rewrote our ending, Dad. Music starts, simple guitar, James's friend playing. We walk down the aisle. 50 people stand, smile. Father O'Brien at the altar, 70 years old now, retired. But he came out of retirement for this. James at the altar, looking at Natalie like she's the only person in the world. I give her hand to James, kiss her cheek, take my seat in the front row. The ceremony is short, personal, no generic vows. They wrote their own. James promises to show up, to stay, to choose her every day. Natalie promises the same. They're crying. I'm crying. Half the chapel is crying. Father O'Brien pronounces them married. They kiss. Everyone cheers. At the reception, just 50 people in the church hall, I give a toast. 2 years ago, Natalie's life shattered. The woman who should have protected her most betrayed her worst. I look at my daughter. But look at her now. She didn't just survive. She learned what real love looks like. Not perfect, not fairy tale, but real. Someone who shows up. Someone who stays. Someone who understands that a plain gold band worn with pride is worth more than diamonds worn in shame. Natalie is crying. So am I. I taught literature for 24 years. The greatest story is when someone rewrites their ending. I raise my glass. To Natalie and James, to new beginnings, to rewritten endings. Everyone drinks, cheers, hugs. After, when the reception winds down, I'm sitting at a table, alone, tired but happy. Maria sits next to me. You did good, Danny. We all did good. How are you? Really? I'm okay, better than okay, good. Dating anyone? I laugh. Not yet, maybe someday. Well, when you're ready, I know a nice librarian, loves books, loves teachers, wears plain gold jewelry. Maria, just saying. She pats my hand, leaves. I pull out my phone, check my email. There's one from my publisher. The book I wrote last year, Rewriting Endings, A Teacher's Journey Through Betrayal and Healing, is doing well. 3rd printing, requests for speaking engagements. Never thought I'd write a book. Never thought my story mattered, but Maria convinced me. Said other people needed to hear it, needed to know they could survive, could rebuild. She was right. I look across the room, Natalie and James dancing, her head on his shoulder, the simple gold band visible on her right hand. She kept it, honored it, gave it meaning Jessica never could. On my phone, I open my teaching notes. Next semester's AP English syllabus, Romeo and Juliet. Still on the list. But my teaching notes are different now. The tragedy isn't that they died. It's that no one showed them they could leave. This year, teach them the difference. Teach them that some stories need to be rewritten, and that's not failure. That's courage. Below that, in fresh writing, year 3 of teaching this with real understanding. I close my phone, stand up, walk over to where Natalie and James are dancing. She sees me, smiles, reaches out her hand. I take it, dance with my daughter. Thank you, she whispers, for showing me what real love looks like, for teaching me that leaving is sometimes the bravest choice. You taught me too, sweetheart. Yeah? Yeah. You taught me that we don't become who we're meant to be by staying in stories that destroy us. We become ourselves by having the courage to write new ones. She hugs me tight. The music plays, people laugh, the chapel is warm with spring sunshine, and for the first time in 2 years, I feel it. Peace. Not happiness exactly, not yet, but something close, something real, something worth more than all the diamonds and fancy dinners and perfect performances in the world. In my jacket pocket, there's a small box. Inside, a new ring, my grandmother's ring, the one my mother gave me after the divorce finalized. Simple gold band, like the one I made for Jessica. But this one's mine, a reminder that I'm worth more than someone's contempt, that my hands, teacher's hands, builder's hands, father's hands, are good hands, that I taught integrity for 22 years, and finally learned to live it. The sun sets through the chapel windows. Golden light, warm. Natalie and James cut the cake, feed each other, laugh. Maria starts a conga line. Father O'Brien joins, even Principal Chen. I watch them, my chosen family, the people who showed up, who stayed. And I think about that ring Jessica flushed, how I thought it was the end. But really, it was the beginning of learning my worth, the beginning of teaching the most important lesson. Sometimes you don't leave people you love. You leave people who never loved you the way you deserved. And that's not tragedy. That's survival. That's courage. That's rewriting your ending. I taught Romeo and Juliet for 22 years. This time, I got it right.